Hey Pisces, how's it going? Welcome to your reading. Hope you guys are doing good today. Hope you guys are feeling okay. Ooh, success at the bottom. My goodness, I love that card. Today we're going to be looking at your transformation. Looking at that with one card from the Prism Oracle, one from the Hermetic Tarot, the Emperor, and then one from the Lenormand at the Swan's Knight of Cups at the bottom. Feels like a lot of self-action. Feels like a lot of pulling yourself out of the, I was gonna say out of the mud. So, whatever that's about. Because yeah, success and like the Emperor, the Knight of Cups, like moving forward, a lot of self-success. For sure, that's awesome. Okay, so, I'm gonna be looking at the past, the present, your transformation into the future. So, let's get into it and see what's up. I need to get more incense because this stuff just lights for like 3 seconds. I'm like, oh, good smell, and then it's like gone, and I'm like, fuck. Alright, 1 sec. Sorry. It does smell very good though, so I need it. Nice. Okay, let's see what's up. What do we have for Pisces in the present? By the way, your sign was probably by far one of the most fun to make. Oh my god. I almost messed it up like 4 times. Alright. Pisces in the present. Oh shit. Or the past, I'm sorry. But either ways, abundance. Nice, nice. There's nothing. I feel like a raise. I feel like it's not a raise. What am I feeling? It's like a balanced opportunity. So it's not just a raise. It's like a consistent sort of a raise. Like a good set of money. It's like maybe a fixed sort of income, but like like something better and stable. I like. What do we have for you in the present? Because that was the past. So what do we have for you in the present? Growth, guys. I love when you guys pull out the green cards, and I haven't had them for a minute, but that's awesome. Growth. So all those coins down here. Feels like these are pretty cool, but this feels like a big coin here. So it feels somewhat like a lesson, but also definitely like financially like nice with stability. These 4 petals are feeling like 4 of wands. So a new home situation, new home ideas, growth within the home. Oh man, I forget with the water signs how much of these are feelings, so it's like harder to express just quite a bit, but not that. Working through it. Let me see. What do we have for you guys? Oh my god, there's a bunch of red cards flying out. Completely switching from green to red. Don't do it to me. What do we have for you guys in your transformation? We got caution. What else is around here? Bitch. Don't even worry. Success at the bottom. Don't even worry. It's still flying through. But caution. But that's important. So what do we have here? This is an orange, which is success. And then caution is yellow. So with the progression with that, because you got caution and transformation. Right, because if you go from yellow to orange, it's a step back. So taking a step back with caution is how you are successful. That can make sense because taking a step back is how you get a big picture perspective. And Pisces would be about different perspective, higher perspective. And that's what I think with this caution card a lot too, because it has the 3 points. And it was vague as hell, but that's one thing I notice a lot now, the 3 points, and how you could have like a higher like version of you, um, that thinks in an angelic way. You have like a darker version. You got red fish, blue fish, on both sides. Both are equally as valuable, but living them both out, sort of bring them together for that higher perspective in your transformation. But with caution too, because I'm gonna have to clarify for sure, but it's definitely just something about how you handle yourself in cautious situations. And definitely, this is like I think with caution, like a wet slip sign, or a don't slip sign or whatever the fuck. So it's like, because then I think about that's a wet ground, like that's water. So being careful in like emotional situations that can cause you to slip. So something about that in your transformation. And I don't say it a lot, but like the behind that, I don't know what I would call that, because I don't know what that is. I feel like this is like one of those like, what do you see in this image? But like with this picture, with this symbol, it feels messy. It always feels like that way, but I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's like slimy. I don't know. But either way, it feels like just messy. Like messy things that could be messy. Cautious, being cautious. Environments, places, people. There's something about that in your transformation. Lastly, there's an exclamation point in the middle. So maybe about like your self-power with the emperor we saw earlier, because the exclamation point, you're exclaiming something. You are like almost proclaiming, like you put it at the end of a sentence when you shout, when you really just like want to get a point across. So maybe this could be about bringing your power into situations where where you feel, because yellow is about feelings, where you feel you may need to be cautious, but really like maybe now you're expressing it more, exclaiming it more, letting them know. I love that. So what do we have in the future? What do we have in the future for Pisces? Protection. I love it. I love it. And then hunger at the bottom, another yellow card. Black and yellow. Y'all know that song? I forget who that's by. But protection. I like the yellow because it feels more of that feeling. So I can tell that, and it's a healthy spot, a healthy color for feelings, because it means that you're sort of like listening to yourself. But with protection in the future, with these, I feel like aligning, so lining something up, feeling protected and safe, locked down. With the black also, I'm feeling inclined to read the black cards, because I want to say, but I don't want to speak wrong on it. And then go back and read it and be like, oh, you dummy. In this deck, black is an invitation to step into a new phase of your life. When black cards come up in a reading, think of the intense opportunity that they bring, whether to create space for newness or to cultivate courage. Cultivating courage, two things with that. I'll start with the courage, because that's what I felt with caution, with the exclamation point. It's like really growing, cultivating, growing. Right, really growing the courage to speak yourself, like speak your shit on like what you feel, and knowing that like your feelings are true and honest. And I think that protection is good, because like it invites you into a space, right, where you feel safe to express yourself, because not only do you understand and respect your own feelings, but the space around you does, even if it's just yourself or a few people. But this feels like the second thing I was going to say, it also feels like a space, like, because it's black, it feels like a void. I don't want to say it earlier because I can almost come out wrong, but I like how they said it. It creates space for you. And with this protection, for sure, it's like the powers and guides that be beyond you, the spirits, the things above you, beyond you, are telling you right now, like in the future, it's significantly protected. If you feel you need to express yourself or exclaim something that is important to you, in a safe environment, but when whatever is most, you feel most is aligned, but still you feel best protects yourself. Like, I feel that duality. I feel like that might be a bit of a thing where it's like making sure you definitely express yourself and exclaim yourself in safe environments, but also understanding that your feelings are true and honest. So like the balance, because I feel like these two locks of balance, your higher self, your lower self, like letting both of those live out in a safe environment, because this is a protected environment, but also, I hope that makes sense, because it's like really like unleashing your full self, but in a safe environment, and being protected throughout that. We're gonna go into that with tarot. Oh, okay. Right. Just a bit of flow, like I saw it, like pain and flow at the bottom. So just like, no, no, no. I had to reroute my brain because I was like, even though you should say that, you shouldn't. So I was like, I was just about to, but no, it was flow, which is blue, comes after green. So yeah, you're moving in a procession. Right now, you may be in a bit of a balance. And your transformation, because it goes from green to yellow, your transformation might have you looking back on past situations, because I think of going green from yellow, it would be moving back. But you're taking a step back, maybe just to reevaluate and also come to full terms on your power and what you were correct on, and the things that matter to you. Uh, there's something about that exclamation mark. Oof. Now it also looks like an on and off button, right? Like it would be like the circle would be like on, like, or like a remote button, right? So your transformation could be turning something on, like turning something on within you. Like again, like your own power, your own authority, like really. And then remote, you could be doing remote. I was gonna say remote work, but a remote control. So taking back your your control. Okay, right. It's definitely about your own like emotional control, and really exclaiming that. That's huge. So let's see what we have with the Hermetic Tarot. Yes. Should have lit that when I was talking about that, but there's so much. It's all feelings too, so it's really hard to put into words. I hope it makes sense. Okay. Um, what do you have? What does Pisces have for abundance in the past? The King of Cups. Wow. So definitely a lesson first off, because with the coins match with the cups, it's not a direct, like, it wouldn't be like you imagine King of Pentacles abundance. I'd be like, financial straight up, but King of Cups with abundance, a lesson with maybe emotional value, maybe a lesson in emotional value, what you value emotionally, um, what you're willing to spend your emotions on, and what you're willing to take with abundance and all those coins. Currency, emotional currency. So it could be it could be a lesson in things probably that feel transactional. But if not just that, it's like, again, with lessons, they're give and take. So it's like, as much as a lesson this has been, it definitely gave you something so valuable in return. Um, King of Cups, that's huge. Like, you, like, bossed up on something. And when I was talking about, and sorry to go back here, when I was talking about, because this feels like, if you think about these 2 points and then one higher perspective, you could feel the Chariot card with those two lines and then that one driver, correct? And the King of Cups would be behind that chariot, would be one of the ones behind that Chariot. So it's like awesome because you're behind that Chariot and you're the one turning that, would be turning that vehicle on and really expressing your power, especially your emotional power, which is really important. When I see this snake skeleton here, so I think about ego, so maybe an ego death, for sure with the transformation, but also like probably with transaction, and like I feel like there's just some really like I feel him looking at that in a bit of a frustrated way. And what is at the bottom here? Because I know it was. I saw frustration before. I feel frustration, just probably frustrated at the ego of others, the audacity, the gall, especially with this much of an emotional lesson. How people may be reacting emotionally, especially egoically, when you're going through some sort of a real tough time. Let's see. Growth in the present? What's growth about? Okay. Y'all the first one. Are y'all the first ones to pull this out of the hermetic too? Probably. The Ten of Cups. My God. Well, I mean, I might as well give it that rare rainbow effect that it normally has, but this black and white ass deck don't have. But I love this deck. The Ten of Cups. Mars and Pisces. It's perfected success, it calls it. So, oh, I forgot to turn my notifications off. I'm going to be so distracted. Growth. No, okay, growth and Ten of Cups. I said I wasn't going to be distracted. Now I'm like distracting myself on the thought of not being distracted. Jesus Christ. Ten of Cups, Mars and Pisces. I definitely usually say imagination meets action. And when I think of growth in this plant, I think of putting the seeds in and planting something, because I would be like, oh, I want to grow something, and that's the imagination part. So then you take the action, you put the seeds in the dirt, and all of a sudden you start growing stuff. That's the action. That's Mars. That means Pisces. But then also with Pisces we have things unknown. So so when you plant a seed, you don't know really what's going to happen. You just kind of have to wait for that. So I feel a level of letting go. But with the Ten of Cups, I feel if I feel such a deep reward, I feel like also you've had such a deep letting go process. So I really feel for you with that process. I feel like it's like definitely just with the Ten of Cups, because this is the reward. So I have to take it back to the process of growth that it's been. So it's definitely been a large lesson, probably with the Ten of Cups, an entire like cycle. I'm thinking of like, because the 9 before I would think of like that full cycle, and this is a completion, but it's been like a very long, I feel this time, a long cycle of it feels like this cup journey almost, like really literally does, like this growth, it feels like the literal ace to 2 to 3 all the way to the 10. So and I'm not going to explain them all, but you know, well, like the going from the self, the 1, to the 2, to where it's like the relationship with others, to the 3, connecting, expanding, to the 4, you know, all of those, especially with the 5, the complete self, being alone and sort of that journey, and maybe regrets, and like the whole journey, all those numbers. Go to Google if you want to know what the rest of them are. I wouldn't want to like drone on about all that, but it doesn't feel like just like 1 month, the Ace of Cups, the next month it feels like years, and then time of this being the 1, and even going through the 1, like experiencing some of the 7 of Cups, and it's just like those individually, but again, like a process, because the growth now feels like the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight. It generally, the general consensus. So it's like a process. It feels huge, and that's exactly why I feel like this is a big reward. Like, and it's funny, like me talking negative on the Ten of Cups is on par, because I'm so like, oh, I love the devil cards. I'm like such a devil's advocate for all like the bad energy. So when I pull a good card, I'm like, hey, let me tell you everything bad about it. But no, I think that this lesson is exactly why you're reaping such a beautiful reward for exactly what you deserve. Because it was no one else who worked on those cup journeys on this cup journey except you. Whereas people have assisted you and guided you, but you were the one who pulled yourself out of the mud on that, you know? That's huge. An imagination meets action, that's a spark. That's a wildfire. That's a wildfire on an island. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's a campfire on an island. It for sure is. That's beautiful. Alright. What do we have with caution in your transformation? Okay. Pulling out the contract card. Keeping it vague as hell, I see. With the King of Swords at the bottom. Level of detachment, thinking about history. Caution in the contract card. So definitely first off bat, deep committed relationships. And not just deep committed relationships, but just important relationships. They don't have to be deep and committed, but it's just your important relationships that you've had over time. I just saw 2112 on the counter too, so like reflections. This also kind of feels like a mirror sometimes, so like mirroring people that you've mirrored, or like people that have reflected, and things that you can probably reflect on now, but they're things that you committed yourself to for sure with this card. Things that you maybe not also committed yourself to, but probably in an esoteric sense also maybe had just like connections with and contracts with on a spiritual level, like lessons to go through. And with caution, it was really about trusting your feelings over anything else. And like, of course, like leveling out with the King of Swords, of course, leveling out history, leveling out logic, and being true to logic and being true to like keeping a level head. But baby, your feelings were the first and foremost things that really came out, and I think that's 100% what you learn to value and trust. And with this card is what you learn to commit to, your feelings. Emphasize. Holy bit. Okay, so this is an exclamation point, obviously, but there's the word emphasize is in this card. And I love the words in this card because there's a million of them. They don't really come together in a full coherent thing in my brain, but there's a few words that'll pop out when it needs to, and emphasize popped out. So emphasizing your feelings. Not letting anyone overshadow them. Not letting anyone give you black or white meanings for what your feelings are, but really letting you live your feelings live out in full color. That's so important. And there's nothing else that's coming out with this, with that. I mean, other than artwork. So I mean, artwork could be important. Doing artwork for sure. Emphasizing your artwork 100,000%. Like, artwork is so beautiful on every scale. Like, all art is so beautiful because it comes from you. It's your own feelings, you know, so that could be important. And because you commit to it. You commit to it. And people can feel that when you commit to what you do, or even if they don't, you know what I mean? Fake it till you make it, that's another thing. Because making it is what you're gonna do. And that's beautiful. Why am I pulling out the prism? Jesus, I meant to, like, completely drop. Oh my god. I mean, oh. Because you commit to it, because you love it, because you love yourself. Oh yeah, we know. We know, that's beautiful. Oh my god. Okay, so what do we have with protection? In the future? The Six of Swords. It had me scared for a second. It had me scared. All I saw was swords and I had this covered up. I thought it was going to be Seven of Swords. Some crap. I was like, God damn. What do you mean? Like, I mean, of course, it, you know, whatever. But Six of Swords is what came out. So let's talk about that. Six of Swords and protection. So the 6 is a protection number. The 6 is harmonious. Think like the 6 of Cups and stuff like that. It's like protection. The reason why it's protection is the 6s have to do with harmony, and not just harmony, but the 6s have to do with not only the past but the present and the future. That's why it's a harmonious thing, because time is one thing. It's one harmonious thing, but it's made up of these 3 elements, and it still flows just as well. That's why the Six of Swords may be made up of not only balanced things, but the reason why it's balanced is because balance is made up of multiple elements. You see what I'm saying? So it's like balance has good and bad. Balance isn't just good, because that would be imbalanced. Balance is good and bad. So with Six of Swords, you might be going through an element, going through a time where you're receiving both great and maybe not so great. But this is telling you that no matter what you go through, as long as you stay on that equilibrium, as long as you continue to try to hold your balance and move yourself forward, there's not much, actually. You don't have to push yourself forward. Pushing yourself forward is keeping yourself aligned. I said, remember with the aligned, and the Six of Swords would be keeping yourself aligned in the balance, so that when there is good and there is bad, because the universe is going to give you both. And I think, again, it's like the commitment. It's like asking you, how much do you really want? What's at the end of this Six of Swords is almost like a boat ride sometimes. So what's at the end of this boat ride? But this protection here is important, because I think this protection is, again, the universe rowing that boat for you as long as you keep yourself aligned. This is also Mercury. Is that Mercury? Yeah, Mercury in Aquarius. This is Mercury in Aquarius. So I feel expansion. With Aquarius, what do I feel with Aquarius? I feel flow. For some reason, I feel like that water bearer energy, because I feel like it looks like waves. And I know it's an air sign, but it looks like waves with that wave. So I'm feeling that more so now. So maybe expanding. I feel expanding through rough waters. Expanding into bigger waters. Larger waters. Still coming to an end point, though. With Aquarius, this is interesting, but this is the last thing I'm getting, because it was like, this is what I was like trying to pull out of my, because I couldn't understand what the words were. But with Aquarius, I feel history and I feel ancestry, and with protection, I definitely feel if these are rough waters, you are being guided through maybe ancestors. They may not be here anymore, or I say ancestors, they may not be here anymore, but you mean you know what I mean, like family history, anyone that may be important in your family history, you're being guided. You're 100% being guided by them, and this is them now telling you and making it clear and known, like in the future, both tough waters and beautiful calm waters are going to come through, and every step of the way they're going to be there. So I mean, this could be some random angelic, like Michael, Makalek, or some other angels, but there's also like anyone specifically important to you. They're really there for you right now, and in the future. It's like, and coming forward, they will be with you. Eight of Pentacles. I feel work. I really do feel work. Self-work, self-emotional work, and the Ten of Cups, really hard work, but then also like committing to your self-work. But with growth and abundance, for sure, like this could be and I said remote with the card, so a remote job, so maybe a comfortable place where you can feel comfortable in your emotions, but then also, like again, like a job is bringing in some great abundance for you. Let's clarify really quickly with the Lenormand and get you out of here. I'm feeling more flow with that dishwasher going on there. That dishwasher flowing. Okay, and I also have to, ouch! I don't want to say like, I don't want to, when I say something about, it could be something, I don't know. I'll continue. What do we have with the King of Cups? We got the birds, the Seven of Pentacles. environment, abundance. This could be a new. It seems like you found maybe either some new friends or a new environment where your emotions, who you are, is accepted. With abundance, it's like an inheritance of people and a lighthearted energy that you've deserved for a long time, probably because you've been through some rough waters, and this is a new lighthearted environment where it's both very abundant, but you're very free within your emotions. The birds and because y'all are, I know this is a sign that's heavy on duality, rightfully so. And so with the birds is also like the birds are a lot of noise. So with the abundance and the King of Cups and the birds, it feels like with a lot of noise and abundance, I feel like in a lot of abundance of noise and emotional with the King of Cups. So it could be like you may have inherited a lot of emotional noise. You may have had an abundance of emotional noise, like emotions that weren't yours, and things coming out of like things just flittering around. That's just like all in your environment, all in your space, and those emotions weren't yours. So now I feel like definitely you've inherited a lighthearted environment where you can be free in yourself and live out your emotions and feelings, but not feel shrouded by like bullshit that's just not yours. That feels like ugh, but it feels good now. It feels great now. And if it's not absolutely great now, it feels like it's definitely building to be great. What we have with growth in the Ten of Cups. I like that in your present. Ooh, the ring. The Ace of Wands. And Ace of Wands is where I feel that Mars now, with that Mars in Pisces. The Fly. You know how I said the Ten of Cups was like this full cycle, right? So, okay, so this is gonna be a bit of a journey. So hear me out on this. I talked about that full cycle with the Ten of Cups that you've been through. It's been a long cycle. So this is what I feel. This is like the ring is not complete. The journey of your self commitment or your commitment to others, and how that plays out was not complete. So you went through that long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. You went through that whole journey, completed that cycle. And now this is the Ace of Wands too. So you see how we have Mars here, and that's that circle. It also has that line that shoots out, which could feel like an Ace of Wands. And I feel that's that action that sparks is what you're sparking now. So altogether, it's like you're making actions. You're feeling inspired, and you're growing. This Ace of Wands too feels like what's the stem of the and this, if you turn this upside down, this almost looks like the symbol for Mars. You see what I'm saying? Like the circle and the arrow. Come on, that's definitely that. So with growth, but the Mars symbol is pointing down. So your action is planted at. Your action is based at the root. You see what I'm saying? It's like the action that's being pointed at, the arrow that would, it feels like it almost like an arrow somewhat, but like that point is, I mean, drawing it is an arrow, obviously, but it's being pointed at the ground. So it's like your action, your commitment of what you're building for yourself, it's pointed at the root, and you're really growing because of that. In the present, ooh, and it's beautiful because you're feeling inspired off of just such beautiful happiness, family, feeling inspired from, right, the Six of Swords I forgot to mention, but like with perfected success right here and earned success, you're really reflecting on the success that you've earned, especially like with your, like to yourself and the growth that you've done and gone through. Oh, my heart's beating that's so beautiful. It really is. Holy. Oof. I said full cycle. Look at the bottom, it's 9. And the roses, right? This is a gift. Because the roses are a gift, and they are a beautiful gift. I think, what, rings and roses? I don't know why I said rings and roses. Is that something? So now I'm thinking rings and roses. I'm thinking anniversaries. I'm also thinking, what, fancy dinners. Could watch out for proposals. Just in the present. I don't know. There's something about that. The rings and roses. What do we have with your transformation with the hermetic tip? Or I'm looking at the card right now. But caution and the contract card. Ooh, which are both C. So that's a 3. So your transformation is something about expansion and how you birth and create something new. That expansion definitely with that balance had to do with contraction. So like, and that's another birth word. So with those contractions that brought you in, this could be about maybe feeling small within your emotions and expanding out of that. But with caution and the contract card, you got the well. You got the well. The well would be about deep feelings, deep emotions. What drives you emotionally? What is it that you want when you make that wish, right? And caution. Ooh. Oh, there's so many things. Again, it's hard to decipher what to say first. But when I think about those 2 points and that higher perspective, not just making decisions and not making wishes based off of your higher, just all high values, or all low values, keeping it balanced. Like your what do they call it? Like your light and your shadow, like bringing them into harmony. So it's not like you're doing one or the other. You're making a balanced sort of wish and decision. With the contract card and relationships and wishes and caution, it's like seeing the elements. Oof. Oh. I feel an element of making other people's wishes come true with caution and like maybe your feelings and your not just your emotional. It's like your emotional authority and such, but it's also like your emotional power. So it's like your emotional power was able to create. It's like people could look at like this would be you, and people could look into you, make a wish. You could look into others, help them make a wish, make their wishes come true. These elements here. It feels like just being like a great manifester, especially with your emotions. And so with the contract card and caution, it feels like putting a nice little gate around this wishing well. That's so interesting because there would be water coming out of this well, and so you could put a wet sign around there. So maybe it's like, hey, you come around this well anymore. You come around this well of my magic manifesting being, and you're not really contractual. You're not really loyal and committed to me, and you try to come up here and make a wish. You better be cautious, or you're gonna slip. This is what it feels like, 100%. Like you got the ground slicked up for anyone who's not really about it. And I think that's important because it could have been just like it feels like an open heart just to all to be able to create. And this has been a really, oof. I got pain in my heart right now. Wowzer. Oh, that's like sharp. I feel. I'm so sorry, but this is definitely a great thing now. 100% a great thing. It's like a sign. It's a sign that you've put out to all others to be like, hey, this is a list. Like, imagine this is different words. This is a list of everything you gotta. This is a list of everything that I've done for myself, of everything that I do for myself, everything that I am for myself. Come with this or don't come at all. And I like that. And I mean, once they do come through, look at what you can do for them. But this is what you do for yourself, and that's literally the best thing, first of all. That's magic manifesting energy all the way. That's amazing. It's so pretty too, so you probably do it in such a beautiful way. Like it's like look at that landscape. Ugh, it's nice. That's nice. And lastly, with the it's just with the 5, it's like change, making change for yourself, being able to make change for others, and that's a very powerful thing. But really rooting up like uprooting, bringing some change into your life, making some wishes come true. So what do we have in the future with the 6 of Swords and protection? Time. Or the wheel, so the Wheel of Fortune. I forget the time card's different in this as well. There's another time card. Oh, very funny. The 6 of Swords and now the 6 of Cups as well. Protection. 2 6s. You see what I'm saying about the protection energy? And the 6? How it's like you keep yourself aligned in the future. And with the Wheel of Fortune, that's Pisces and Sagittarius, which is expansion in lessons and learning. So rough waters with the of lessons and learning. And Pisces, that's deep emotions that I feel with those lessons, attaching that. But then also higher knowledge. Definitely with Pisces and Sagittarius put together as higher knowledge. And so again, when I was talking about the ancestry, you could have inherited knowledge from people before, or inherited just a clarity, and with the Wheel of Fortune, some sense of it feels like, how do I say it? Genetics that go beyond time, where it's like or like what's the word I'm looking for? Abilities, specialties, like your ability to go beyond and go into a higher perspective when there is, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But knowing that you're protected, and having that higher guide and authority, probably like having inherited so many guides. But with time and the Wheel of Fortune, I keep saying time, and I wonder why. So maybe I'm thinking like things take time. So maybe going through these waters, like taking your time. And this, I see all these directions you could go, right? There's northeast, southwest. And so there's just so many different ways that you can go about this. There's so many different ways you can go. And I think all paths are correct as long as you keep it aligned, keep yourself balanced. And 6 of Cups too. There could just be an element of your past, and oh god, Mercury retrograde. Currently, it may not be at the time you are now, but just if there's an element of your past, you have to sit in it and think about, and go, and like I said, these go in all directions. You can go in any direction you choose. Any direction that you choose. The only thing, like I said, is keeping yourself aligned, and what I mean by that is you're in your present right now. You've seen the past, and you possibly see into your future, Miss Raven. But also, it's just like, you know what you want for your future. So like I said, magic manifestor, you're in your present, and that's how you make your future. So you know what your future probably is going to be like based on what you're doing in your present, and you know what you want. So while you're in your present, are you making your future right now? And if you're making your future, does it look like your future, or does it look like your past? And like that could be a good or bad thing, but it's like, do you see growth like you have here? Do you see growth? And if you do, within your, like, do you see it within yourself as well? So that's something about that. Just making sure that you're and again, it's yes or no for all of it, or any all of it. It's just definitely make sure that you know you are protected. But while you are being protected, that's what they're doing. You have to be accountable for your alignment. But it looks nice because all these 6s, it's harmony, it's balance. You're moving forward. You have earned the success that you deserve within this. That's beautiful. And you have 2 7s in this reading, so that's a lucky thing. You might be getting lucky. Okay, so let's see what you have for your last advice. And then get you on out of here. Oh my god. The last of the transformation readings. For now. Until maybe we come back to them like years from now or whatever. I don't know. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Let me know what you want me to do next. If you want me to. I have to get these because they came out. They just flew out, and I just said it. So you might be getting lucky. You get these. This is a card of luck. It's a 2. What is that? It's a 6 of Pentacles. All these damn 6s, for sure. And then the reflection of a 6 in 9 wands. So a lucky break out of a tough situation, but then also with the fox. I always feel this, and I feel so sorry if you were like more of like an animal that was good on your lonesome, right? And you got into an environment where it's like you can't really pull a fox in like that unless you really pull a fox in like that. So it's like it feels like that sort of thing where it's like that fox didn't even want to be inside the house, but it feels like that fox just left a situation that was like, I was better off on my own, didn't even want to be in this, don't even understand why I got, so it feels like that. But look where that fox is going, and maybe looking back to reflect again, but look where that heads it, looking in the direction of it, the 14, which is self with 1 and sort of structure with 4. So self structure, looking at your own structure, looking at the structure of others, does it match up, does it align? And that's a 5, doesn't need to change. So if that fox is making change, they're doing it for themselves. Because if they're doing it for themselves, you're on your way to your wishes, your dreams, your luck, your balance, your harmony. And with that 2, most likely a beautiful little relationship. As long as your relationship to yourself is doing beautiful, your relationship with others is going to be awesome. That's gorgeous. Wow. That's beautiful. Oh my god, Pisces. That's awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped. Sorry it was so long. I didn't realize how long this went on, but I hope it helped. And I hope. I couldn't find the woman. I was trying to keep it balanced, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe, comment, notification bell. Personal readings, information for that is down below. And stay safe. 20% really right now. Other than that, YouTube's a big place. Go have fun. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.